Start this morning off in a samovar, which I think is what this is called. It's like a little truck, and then it has the seat sideways, which is great for Thai, but you can see for Westerners, so we don't have much room. What was funny about this is I showed him a map. This is a small island. I can walk across it in about an hour. And me, I can walk across it. I show him a map, and there's like 3 guys trying to figure out where it is. It's one of the significant sites. It's a temple. It's on all their maps. What's funny is this is what these guys do for a living. In Bangkok, which is a huge city, you tell a guy a place, he not only knows how to get there, he knows every squirrely way of getting there fast. Okay, just to get us orientated, you see where those lakes are right in the middle of the island. On the upper right and to the right, about 1 block, and then up is where my guest house is, and all the activities right where that red type is, right in there in that box that you see, including markets. See where it says Chow Prom Market, Chow Prom Market. And where I am is right down here. At Wat Suwan Dararam, and I'm going to, after I'm through here, or before, I'm going to see where I can find the little ferry that supposedly goes across here, which means a boat, and then go to Wat Suwan. And if you think those are pronounced correctly, thanks for the applause. So I'm going to, it's closed until 8:30, so I'll just walk around for another 20 minutes or so and look at the outside. So what makes this complex notable apparently are the variety of styles. So I will see if I can detect them. This is called a lotus pedestal, if you will, to support the Bodhi tree. King Rama IV brought a shoot of this tree from India to grow in front of the Pira Ubosot. Now this was apparently built by Rama I, and it's also called an Uposatha, U-P-O-S-A-T-H-A, a temple's central building, and it contains the Buddha images. Style-wise, what I seem to notice as a layperson is that there is some gold up there and there's some gaudiness, but not the complete covering of everything. In fact, it's more a dark motif than gold. You can even see tinges of green in there. We'll focus a little bit tighter. Not much that I can really make out. It may well be that it's quite grimy also. And the typical nagas, or simulated nagas, designed to keep evil spirits that fall from the sky from hitting this building. The guidebook indicates that this simple design is typical of the period, as well as the bowing of the top of the roof, which we really can't make out here. Even if I try, if I do see it, can't be sure it's not my own imagination. But you can certainly know if this is indicative of the bow in the facade of this building, as though it were a bowed platform. Interesting that this is the opposite visual, or at least construction, of what the Greek temple in Greece, Athens, was. The top of the Greek, I think it's the Acropolis, Pantheon, or the Parthenon, I forget which one is which. The surface of the steps is bowed, as well as the columns are bowed to create the optical illusion, ironically, of straight. This is simple only in the sense that there's not a lot of color on those wall supports, for lack of a better term, although they look innately carved. And this detail above the main door looks redundant, but it looks also fairly detailed. But I guess, relatively speaking, one could call it simple. Here are smaller versions of the double stones that we saw at the first major site yesterday. And apparently this bowed look here is something that was characteristic of the late. There were three Ayutthaya architectural styles, and this one by Rama I. Now, looking at these chadai painted up nicely, except for the large one, again, we may be able to extrapolate how some of these other nearly destroyed sites might have looked. Very counterpoint is this white against the gold and the greens of the structures, the buildings, and how dramatic that white would have looked. This man, I think, is sweeping away the fallen leaves or whatever those little flowers are from the grass that's emerging through the protective cover, perhaps to ensure that it will grow well. This large building next to the other one is called the Wihan, W-I-H-A-H-N, a large assembly hall. And you may be able to hear, I suspect, our monks that are chanting on the inside. There's an anomalous little picnic table of cement, presumably set up for visitors. This older monk was very pleasant. He stopped and attempted to chat, but other than saying Sawadi Krub, which I can say, he could say more, but I couldn't understand it. And so I would just try to somehow reflect that I don't understand, and we'd both smile a lot, and then off he would go. But imagine they spent their entire life in here, or most of it, absent a few years of youth perhaps. These are very richly colored murals. Look at this beautiful old clock. What apparently an anomaly.